Hello everyone, let's solve this question which came in by weekly contest 172. So the question is minimum number of operations to have distinct elements. So you are given an integer array nums. In one operation, you remove the first three elements of the current array. If there are fewer than three elements remaining, all the remaining elements are removed. Repeat this operation until the array is empty or contains no duplicate values and return an integer denoting the number of operation required. So basically, if you focus on the question, what is asked, we have to make the array as distinct. Okay, so we have to make make array as distinct. Okay, with distinct values. Until that, we can remove three elements. Remove three elements from starting. Okay, so let's take an example to understand this question. 383658. Okay, so the question 383658. So if you first see there are duplicate elements. Okay, so first window is this. If I remove this, what are the elements remaining? 658. So all are distinct. So only how many operations? Only one operations is needed to make the array as distinct. Okay, so how we will solve this question is, first thing what comes in your mind is, let's take one duplicate variable which will tell the duplicate numbers. So there are 3 and 8. So there are two numbers which have duplicates in the array. So one by one, when we take this window 368, if we remove this, so let's consider we are maintaining a map of number and its number of elements occurrences. 3 has 2, 8 has 2, 6 has 1, 5 has occurred once. Okay, so if I remove these elements, okay, if I first remove 3, I will decrement this and my number of occurrences is 1. For 8, I will decrement this, my number of occurrences is 1. Again, I decrement this, my number of occurrences is 0 for this. And if we go, there are no more than 1. Okay, so that is where I got my array has distinct values. Okay, so if this is the first approach, okay, then we will go to the optimal one. This is where we will be using a different map. If we store the number of occurrences for each element, then while going through this window, if we remove everything and if we have to also reduce this, if I get 1, okay, then I can say reduce this to 1. Okay, and here I reduce to 1. Okay, and here I reduce to 1, from 2 to 1. Okay, there what the duplicates are removed. Now my I got 658. This is the first approach. Let's take, we have one more example. 1 2 3 4 5 2 3 6 4 8. Okay, this is my array. So in this case, I have occurrences for 1 is 1, 2 is 2, 3 is 2, 4 is 2, 5 is 1, and 6 is 1, and 8 is 1. Okay, so if I select first this window 1 2 3, so this will be 0, this will be 1, this will be 1. Okay, my duplicates will be, there are total 3 duplicates. Okay, so out of which I will decrement, I got only 1. So in this remaining array there is only one duplicate remaining, which is 4. Okay, now we take the next window. Okay, if we take the next window, now here my 4. Okay, I'll reduce this to 1, I'll reduce this to 0, and this we will reduce to 0, and also this to 0. So we have to remove this. Okay, now what is the remaining? these things are remaining. Okay, so what will be our answer? Answer will be 2, number of operations. So if we see answer, okay, I have taken the different example, yeah, but if you see this example 43512, there are no duplicates, so no need to remove those. And then here, okay, this is the first approach. Now here it is extra space, it will take extra space. Okay, anyway will be traversing through this thing, but still it will be taking extra space. So how we can optimally solve this problem is, optimal approach is, as we know, we have to make this array distinct. So if we start from the end itself, okay, if we start from the end itself, we will know at which point, if we found out this 4 at which it is repeating is here. If it is repeating here, till here we have to remove the elements. And if it is not divisible, the length is 4. If it is not divisible by 3, the next window also we have to remove. That means this window. So we will get our answer. We don't really need to maintain this array and this duplicate variable and every time reduce this. What we have to check is, check if we can use one set. We can add this 8 4 6 3 2 5, and every time check if it is, if there is already existing element on the right side. If it is there, we have to remove till this point at any cost. Okay, and then if it is there, then only. Okay, and then we can check if it is divisible by 3, because in question it is given we can only remove 3 elements. And if there are less than 3 elements, we have to remove everything. Okay, so if you remove these 3 elements, this 4 comes in this window, so we have to remove these 3 elements. We don't really need to remove those, we just have to find, okay, number of operations. Okay, how we will do is, we will use a set where we will be adding these elements, and every time whenever we are adding, we will check if there is any element existing on the right side. If yes, this till this point we have to remove. Then this will be our distinct uh, element, okay, for the arrays. Okay, you got, this is the optimal approach. Let's start coding. So we will take one set of integer, st is equal to new, let's take hash set. Okay, so for int last, from last is nums dot length minus 1, I is greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus. So let's take my int num is what, nums of I. What I'll check, if my st dot contains, if this num contains on the right side, what we will do is, we will return our answer. So first find the length will be what, length will be from here. If I got this 4, what will be my length is I plus 1. I plus 1 will be my length. Okay, now what we will return is, we got the repeating element, so I will return, first is length divided by 3 plus what we have to check, if length percent 3, okay, if it is not equal to 0, that means it is not covering the full window. Okay, we have to include more elements to complete this 3 sized window. If it is not equal to 0, that means there is one window which needed, else 0. So this will be our answer. And here, what uh, if nothing, if it does not contain, we have to just add this in num. Okay, and at the end we have to return 0, because there is see, after this we have to return 0 if we removed everything. Okay, and it will come to this point after removing everything, and if there is nothing to remove, all are distinct elements, then we will return 0. Let's run this code. Yes, accepted. Let's submit this solution. So what we just did, instead of maintaining a map or then a duplicate variable, we just have traverse from the end and check the repeating element. If it is there on the right side, then this should be removed till this point. And then we have checked the window size. Our window size is 3. So if it is the length is divisible by 3, it is covering the window. But if it is not, then one window is extra needed. Okay, it can contain extra two elements or one element, that doesn't matter to us. Yes, thank you so much for watching this video. If you feel this video is helpful to you, please like this video, subscribe my channel, stay updated. Thank you.